Okay, now we want to hash our password and get our password hashed. So how do we get the password hashed? So for the password to be hashed means that we don't want to just store a plain password on our database, just the way we've been storing it here. You can see somebody's password like this. It's very wrong. So we want to store it in a way that's it's going to be difficult for humans to read. And this is actually for security purpose as well. So what we're going to do now is to hash this password. So there are some rules and regulations that we're going to follow to be able to hash the password. Now, this is for the case of sources. It means that from here, as you can see, this is where there is no error. So where there is no error, we start hashing the password before we save it into the database. So I think I'll just say hashing password, right? So we're going to be installing, a module that is called bcrypt. When you install that, you can go to npm and search for bcrypt, bcrypt. So we're going to be installing this. So just do npm install, and it's going to install it. So you can go to, I don't think, I don't need it. So if you just install it, npm install bcrypt, you can go to the documentation and read a little bit about the documentation of the bcrypt. So this is the bcrypt here. So you can go and read about it. So all you just need to do is to install it. After installing it, you require the bcrypt. Now this is ES6 you import, or you require the bcrypt. So once you require the bcrypt, you can then start using bcrypt. So let's quickly do that now. So I'll go to the top of my stuff. I'll require the bcrypt, which I've done. So I don't require the bcrypt, and I store it in a variable called bcrypt. So I will be making use of that variable called bcrypt. Now, based on the documentation, what we have to do is to hash the password. So I'm going to be explaining this to you. So we're going to be generating what is called a sort. A sort is just like a random kind of, upgrading. So it's telling it how it wants it to generate that password. So the systematic way that it's going to follow to generate that password. Now, this is actually what does the magic. This is what does the magic, the hash, this. So you can store your variable, store it in a variable. This is a variable, so bcrypt.hash sync. So you put in the password, the plain password that you're getting, then this is it. And you can put in the sort method as the case may be. So that is just it. So you hash your password and boom, you're good to go. Now this sort is actually this. So this sort could be number, it could be 10, 5. So the default is always 10. So I'm just going to be making use of this here. So bcrypt dot, just going to be make use of this. So I'll copy this quickly and I will make use of that, and I'll just adjust some settings. Okay, what are we adjusting? So this is the bcrypt.generate.sort range. So we've done that. This is a plain password. The plain password we are getting, we'll save it as password, right? Then we'll now save it as sort. So this is the sort here. This is where we have the sort. The sort is being saved here, right? And then, as I said before, now this sort rank could be a number. So the default is always 10. So we'll just make it 10. You can read more of the documentation to know more about it. So as developers, you must read documentation. Is that okay? Because things might change in the nearest future. So you must learn how to read documentation. So sometimes I take you through that process of going to install through npm is on purpose, right? I have read most of the documentation, so I actually know what to write. But in some cases, I still go back to those documentations. So nobody is bigger than documentation. Okay, and it's also a very good fit, good one for you. It's a plus for you if you can read and understand documentation. So what we have here is the bcrypt.generate sorts. Then we have this. So we can then save it in a hash password. So this is a hash password. So hash. So you can call this hash password. I want to change the name to hash password. No. So I want to change it to hash password. So this is a variable I declare called hash password. So in the password feed, where I have this password, I can just put this column and put the hash password that has been hashed, and we are good to go. You can also do the other method by just method of overriding the first one of password and say password is equal to this. But I think I will just put it this way, just for the sake of simplicity, right? So we are good to go. So we'll say bcrypt dot this. Now it has been installed and we are ready to check our work. So let's save this and go to the second terminal. So this is the first terminal. and then take that off. And the second terminal that's running. So let's check from our, so this time we're going to be having my full name, which is him1, which is actually AM1 Sylvester. Okay, and the email is going to be glare at gmail.com. So let's leave that. And what else do we have? We're placing our password on the 341. So let's try to run this. So run this and see what the outcome is going to be. So it has been registered successfully. Yeah. So let's go check it out and see if the password has been hashed. So we're just going to refresh this. I will go back to the the recent one, which is at the bottom. As you can see, congratulations, the password has been hashed, right? You can see the password being hashed, right? This is the password. So this is the one I just entered now, Sylvester, and here is the password hashed. So this is how you hash your password. And when you're trying to make a login, you also do the opposite, which is going to be comparing the string. So we'll see more documentation about how you can compare your string. Hope to see you in the next lesson. Bye for now.